Hey y'all, happy Mother's Day to all y'all that celebrate, and happy Mother's Day to the sisters that have helped raise their their siblings and just siblings raising siblings. Happy Mother's Day to you. Mothering is about nurturing first and foremost and taking care of folks. So if you're taking care of folks, congratulations, you are considered a mother. And so happy Mother's Day to you. And I wasn't sure if I was going to do a crochet demo today because, everyone is, with their loved ones and celebrating. Hello, welcome. As y'all know, like I work on two screens. So at least presently, I'm looking at another platform that I might be able to integrate Instagram. So that happens. You can't stop me. You cannot stop me. I'm sorry. Always picking at my hair because I'm like, so used to not having it out. So like when I see like little wayward pieces, I'm like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? I was like, what's going on? Let's shape it up. Let's shape it up. Um, so so yeah, congratulations to you. So yeah, I decided to figure out, okay, let me see if I'm gonna do um a demo today, but I decided to do one. Like, hey, why not? There might be some folks that still want to crochet or, crochet with their mom or grandmother or aunt or sister or again, sibling. You just, you want to do something together. Well, if you want to do something together, let's crochet. Um, and again, welcome to those who've just joined us. So for today, I'm sorry, just rearranging my wiring here. So for today, we're still working on masks. Um, and last week, what we did for the most part was we started doing the pockets on the back of masks. And let's be specific about masks. I just saw some memes yesterday, but people like it's a joke, but it's really not a joke. Like some folks, for whatever reason, are not putting on like face masks, but they're really putting on like masquerade masks. I don't know if that was like the rest of us being punked, but guys, no. We're supposed to be wearing a mask over our faces as such. So I did this mask the other day. I completed it. I added in ear handles and I added in pockets as well. I did it for this one as well as this one. And both are from the same brand, same material, Bamboo Pop sock yarn. It's 55% bamboo, 37% cotton, and 8% PBT. And PBT allows it to be a stretchy. Cotton allows it to be breathable, and bamboo is antibacterial, antimicrobial yarn, which means that the material repels bacteria. And bacteria know that this is an inhospitable place to live. They don't want to be here. So it'll move on elsewhere. It won't stay on this material. And it's also very cool to the touch. I've been telling folks that have been finding that their masks have been like super duper hot. Let's say hello to the folks that joined us on Instagram. And you may hear my cats in the background because all of a sudden they were nice and quiet and chill. And then all of a sudden they are living their best lives. they just know that I'm sitting here talking to other folks like, no, we want your attention. But yeah, this one's also, I made this I think maybe a week or two prior, and this is the same material as well, bamboo, cotton, and BBT. But what I was mentioning about bamboo is that it is very cool to the touch, and some of us were talking about, at least here on the various chat boxes that I have in front of me, that they're finding their masks to be just hot and confining, especially now that the weather is changing up north. You wouldn't think it did this weekend. This weekend we got a nor'easter, and it was cold like all weekend. So definitely, if folks were outside wearing their masks, they probably were pretty warm, pretty comfortable. But bamboo is a very cool material, just on the skin. I mean, I definitely noticed that wearing my mask for the past few weeks. So So I like it. So we'll see how it goes as the weather gets hotter, because I was wearing my mask in like 60-degree weather, 60, like late 50s. And I didn't break a sweat at all, at least not on my face. At least not on my face. I didn't break a sweat at all. So we'll see how it goes over the next few weeks. So the next mask, the next mask the next mask that I'm working on is this one. I showed it a little bit the other day, and I'd meant to do the hemp yarns today, but I just didn't get a chance to finish this baby. But it's the same material that I used for the other three that you've seen. Oh, and behind me, since we're talking about Mother's Day, I forgot to mention this. And again, congratulations to all the mothers. You survived it this far with your kids, especially if you're homeschooling them. God bless you. First and foremost, God bless the teachers, because they've been dealing with your kids all year round. Okay, facts, facts. But God bless you for holding it down as much as you can in this circumstance. So you deserve that love. But this was made for me by my mother, probably about 10 years ago. She made this for me. Maybe actually longer. I think maybe 12. Because I've lived in this particular apartment for, I think, 9 years this year, I believe. Yeah, 9 years. So this had to have been made about 12 years ago. So mom made this for me. And if you follow me on my other handle, RS Lock It Down, I posted pictures of her. My mom passed a few years ago. So, it's always, it's bittersweet, but it's more and more sweet now. Um, in terms of celebrating my mother, not just on Mother's Day, but every day. And that was our thing. Like I would always say to her, I was like, Mother's Day is every day. So when I would buy stuff for Mother's Day, or in anticipation for Mother's Day, I would just give it to her. Like it might be 2 weeks ahead. I was just buying stuff, and I would buy things randomly. And I said, you're going to get something every day leading up to Mother's Day. She's like, what in the world? I just wanted to let her know that she was loved and appreciated. And so it's like, no, you're gonna get it now, and then Mother's Day, we'll have something happening. But otherwise, you're gonna get some fun stuff leading up to it. But yeah, she made this for me. I love it. I love this scarf. She's made me a couple of scarves actually. She was more of a knitter. You guys, I think you have heard me maybe talk about her a bit. Where and again, gotta pluff up the afro and get nice. She's the one who taught me how to do crafts. She's the one that put that craft bug in me, and we would do a bunch of stuff when I was a little girl. Mainly because, well, one, she wanted to keep me busy. She wanted to keep me busy, and I was a busy kid. I mean, again, if you follow me on other platforms, I do a lot of stuff. I write comics, I publish them, I crochet. I have an organization for women that work in the comic book industry. And I also studied to be a chef. So also, if you follow me, you might see some of let's see where I put this, in between the two sheep here. You might see some dishes that I've been making during quarantine time, or even before quarantine time. I would cook in the house and just take some photos of the things that I'm making. So yeah, I'm a busy little bee. So my mother liked to keep me that way. So she taught me how to crochet, a little bit about knitting, needlepoint. Oh gosh, hook rugging, which always want to do on here. Hello, welcome to anyone who's just joined us. Want to wave to all the folks. Um, how to hook rug. Oh my gosh, what else? Spool knitting. I think she did. I think on another demo I was talking about spool knitting, and I was trying to figure out if my mother had taught me or my aunt. But I think they both just had a hand in it. I think they both just had a hand in showing me how to do it. But mommy, yeah, she just taught me how to do a lot of different types of crafts, and certain things have stuck with me, specifically crochet. But I've been interested in possibly doing some more looming. That's been on my mind. I haven't loomed in forever, and I love talking to people about crafts, and they mention like, oh yeah, like I used to loom when I was a little girl. Like, yeah, we used to make pot holders, and it's so simple. It's such a simple form of weaving. You can just use your fingers to do it, and I love that. Um, so that's something I actually kind of want to look into to start doing again. But my mother definitely was an inspiration to me, still is. She was also an artist, and she painted throughout her lifetime, even up until the day that she around the day that she passed. She was still just creating. And I think I mentioned before, like the pictures behind my head, the paintings were done by my mother. So just want to be surrounded by her artwork. It makes me feel safe and good and just all around blessed. So that's my Mother's Day story for today. So I'm just continuing crocheting the body of this mask. I'm doing single crochet, and I'm using a number 1 hook. And now that I'm on Restream, I've been on Restream a while, I finally connected my YouTube channel, which I mentioned the other day. I'll be doing a podcast on that channel, and also some demos for not just crochet, but um, comic book writing, specifically character creation and world development. I'll be doing some lessons on that, especially for my patrons on Patreon. Anyone who supports Lock It Down Productions, which is my comic book company. Anyone who's on there right now as my patron, I'll be posting videos just for you guys about how to create comics. I always love it when I get a little bit stuck. So yeah, so it'll be a channel that has a bunch of stuff on it. On the podcast, the Brood podcast with the Ilka Panero, who is doing a meditation today at 5 p.m. on her IG. So just look her up, the Ilka Panero, and she does an hour-long meditation, which has been really helpful and useful to folks during this pandemic time. Sometimes you just need to get yourself together and centered and get focused, and it's been really helpful to me. So it's something that I look forward to whenever she has it during the week. I think I made this a little bit longer than the other one, so that's okay. That's okay. And if anyone has any questions on crochet, or you're working on any projects, feel free to let me know. I'll definitely be finishing this. I always say definitely, and then I don't do it. I more than likely will be finishing this today. And then on Wednesday, when we come back together at 3 p.m., I'll probably be working on a hemp blend mask, and that'll be my first hemp blend mask. The other hemp mask that I did was 100% hemp, so it'll definitely be interesting using it. Welcome to anybody who just joined us. We're still working on masks today, protective masks, that is. And I'm currently using a bamboo cotton yarn from Bamboo Pop. And I also always like to mention this, that for anybody who is looking to, um, purchase bamboo yarn or hemp yarn, I've been finding it on yarn.com, and they have a lot of it. They have a lot of it. They have plenty of it. And you get it in a really timely fashion, and that's where I've been ordering all this specialty yarn from. And I've been promising you guys that I'll be doing another circular mask. It's just that once my hands start going, I'm not sure sometimes where it's going to go. And usually in my hands have just started doing rectangular ones. So every time I promise, I started making a rectangular one instead. So I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. But I'm going to work on that and just do that at least with the first hemp one. I'm going to do my best. At least the first hemp one that I work on with you guys, because I might start one tomorrow or later today, and that might end up being rectangular. Because I have a few requests since I had done that birthday fundraiser I've been doing basically for the past month. I had extended it because people were still donating via Facebook, but I did post my Cash App on the Restream platform. So if folks are interested, you can definitely donate to me via my Cash App handle. And what that donation allows for me to do is purchase antibacterial, antimicrobial yarn, which is like the hemp and the bamboo. And if you'd like a mask, I'll definitely send one to you. Also, if you're just in need of a mask and you may not have the funds, times are hard for everybody. Like I just send me your address. I'll send you a mask. So the donations allow me to be able to do that. And everyone who donated previously, thank you so much. You've allowed me to make a ton of masks that are protective and strong, and I'm highly appreciative. And the folks who have been able to get masks from me are appreciative as well. For Instagram, I didn't post my Cash App this time around, but I will in a minute. I also have masks available for sale because some folks have just said, "Can I just purchase one?" I'm like, "Yeah, you definitely can. You can go to my Etsy page, and click the link on that, and you can check out my masks and my scarves too." But it's kind of cool. Not cool. Not cool enough for scarves, but I mean, they're there. they're there if you're interested. With the nor'easter we had this weekend, I'm sure folks were happy to have a scarf around their neck if they happen to had to go outside. It was oh god, and it's still pretty windy out there. Still pretty windy. sometimes stitches are kind of, if you take a look, the stitches are kind of small, so sometimes it's a little tough to pierce one of them. But again, we want the stitches to be as small as they can be, so that, you don't have, your face is protected. A whole bunch of stuff is not hitting your face. But also, let's look. Oh, I have about, I have about 2 or 3 rows to go. And a reminder, if you're wearing a cloth mask, a reusable mask, wash it when you come back inside from the house. I usually wash mine immediately as soon as I come in, and I get myself settled. I will go and just wash my mask really quickly. No, actually, someone just said Corona will go right through that. Try again. No, actually not. Actually not. Because when you're making a mask like this, number one, you have to make another layer, which we do. And if you're familiar with the demo that we do, we make 2 layers of the mask. And we also add a filter. And the material that we're using, just like the other folks are familiar with who have watched this demo, the material that we're using is antibacterial and antimicrobial. And what that means is that bacteria, this is not a friendly place for bacteria to grow, or microbes. So we add in essentially 4 layers of protection so that you're not walking out the house and not being protected. So that's that on that, folks. And I personally, as I've mentioned before, I've been wearing this particular type of mask when I've had to go outside. And I'm currently living in New York City. And it's been good. It's been good. It's been good. I've been wearing my mask for, I want to say, about 4 weeks now. About 4 weeks. And every week, yeah. Yeah, he said, oh, okay. But I appreciate your concern. I do appreciate your concern, because it's very important. And that's why I had mentioned before that, like, you want to get the stitches as tight as possible. But of course, we're human beings. We're not a machine. So you can't get it like tight, like a piece of fabric. So it's really important that if you are going to crochet your mask, you have to have, I'm saying a second layer, but a lining. You have to have some type of lining there so that this is protected, and you're just not just walking out in the street saying, hey, give me Corona. Because if that's the case, you might as well walk out without anything on your face, which I still see some folks doing. Not a lot. Yes, no, it wasn't yesterday, but Friday I had gone out, and there were less people that weren't wearing masks. There were a lot more people actually wearing masks. I probably could count on and there weren't a lot of people where I live. There aren't a bunch of folks just walking around. If they are, they're going to the store. We have a lot of stores in this area. Just vegetable markets, natural food market, there's a large supermarket, there's a bakery, there's a couple of restaurants. So there's places, cleaners, laundromat. So there's places to go that are essentially essential. So there are a few folks out, not a barrage, but most of the folks that I saw, I was quite proud of them. They were all wearing masks. There was only a few that weren't. Less, probably, maybe I saw 4. I have to think about it really quickly. Maybe I saw about 4, just randomly, just walking around. It's like, hey, dude, wear a mask. wear something, for God's sake. Your bandana, just something, because we just want to protect each other. If anyone has seen the news, or if you live in New York City, you know that our hashtag New York Pause has been extended to June 6th, which I figured that it's not going to be that simple. to just to reopen, even within the stages and the guidelines. So I'm like, hey, okay, so I'm gonna be making masks for a while. I'm gonna be making masks for a while. And in general, we're gonna be wearing masks for a while. So let's be fun, let's be fashionable, but more importantly, let's be safe. Let's be safe. Say hi to folks on Instagram. Let's wave. Let's wave. Thank you for joining us. But yes, wash your mask. I meant to say this before I was finish this thought. Wash your mask. Wash your mask when you come inside. Soap, hot water. Usually I hang dry it, but and that's what's good about cotton. Cotton is really good on drying quickly. But what you also can do is sanitize it. And you can do that without using bleach, because I know everybody named Mama they've grabbed up the bleach, grabbed up the Lysol, grabbed up the Pine Sol too. So you can do what we call in the food industry heat sanitization, where you put your oven on 170 degrees, and you can put your mask in your oven, maybe put it on a cookie sheet, maybe put something, maybe put a barrier between the material and the pan. Could be aluminum foil, it could be parchment paper if you have that in the house, even wax paper, and just leave it in there for 20 to 30 minutes, and the heat will kill whatever bacteria or microbes that's on your mask. Because yeah, we're using this antibacterial, antimicrobial material. Yeah, that's what we're doing. But at the same time, nothing wrong with a few extra precautions. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Your health and your safety is more important than anything in this world, no matter what anybody else, depending upon what newscast you're watching, no matter what anyone else tells you, you are the most important thing in this situation. And that's that on that. That's that on that. Yes, we need the economy to reopen. Yes, we need money. We need funds. But more importantly, we need support. We need, solid healthcare. We need proper testing. We need all of that. We need all of that because, yes, I'm in a big city. I'm in New York City. Yes, we are more dense than other cities. And in large cities in general are dense. And whatever way that is for that city. But just know that, diseases, they spread. Viruses spread. They can go anywhere at any time. They're indiscriminate. So one day, it's sitting up here in New York, and then the next day it's living its life in South Dakota, and and that's in a place that's not highly dense in its population, but you don't know how something can spread. So it's like, you might as well, let's just cut it off at the pass. Let's go overboard as opposed to underboard, especially in this situation. Overboard will save lives, but we just have to be cognizant of how we're saving those lives and how do we get back to, whatever new normalcy, comes out of this. But I'm just like, hey, let's just do it. let's do it. I'm here making masks with you guys. I'm in my house, thank God. I have my cats. I have a cool roommate. We're keeping ourselves, peaceful, entertained. And if I feel like being productive, I'm productive. But I think this is making masks is productive. But I definitely could be writing, but that's another story for another day. It's another story for another day. Although I did finish a comic book script a couple of days ago, so That was good. That's good. And when that project is ready to be announced, I'll let you guys know. So I'm like, all right, not so bad after all. Okay. So once I do this row, I'm gonna measure it up against my face and see how long it is. See if it's ready for me to start the pocket. And for those of you who maybe this is your first time seeing me do this, I generally make a lining. As I mentioned before, it's very important to make a lining for something like this. Whether you sew one in, you get material like such as cotton and just sew a piece in, or if you're crocheting one and then you put in a pocket. I put in a filter pocket so that, yeah, so Corona doesn't just go flying through this. Like, no, that defeats the purpose and the point. So, um, so I showed it before, but I'll just show it real quickly again for folks who didn't see. So this is a finished mask of mine with the adjustable ear handles, and this is the lining pocket, and in the lining pocket is shop cloth, and shop cloth is a very highly durable paper towel. They use them in mechanic shops. They use them in commercial kitchens in order to clean up. And folks actually have been using these as masks. They've been making masks out of these disposal ones. And so, yeah, I've been using this as a filter. It's a really great filter. They're highly absorbent. But you can also use cotton to be your filter, or just a cotton cloth, or some folks had mentioned cotton balls. Like they've put cotton balls in like a little, if they didn't make a pocket, they just like made a sleeve within the mask, and they added cotton balls to it, and that acted as a filter. And that's great because it's disposable, you get rid of it. But again, like you can just use a piece of cotton material, use a t-shirt, and then you just have to wash it if you're so inclined, if you want to keep your mask completely and totally reusable. It's definitely an efficient way of doing it. But the shop cloths are biodegradable essentially, and recyclable. So there's that. Breaks down easily because it is paper after all. Okay. And I've mentioned this before. Generally, the masks take me, well, this particular type of mask takes me about 3 hours to make. In total, depending on how fast I'm going. Usually, I watch TV shows as I'm making. I binge something, and depending upon how into it I get on the show, it takes me a little bit longer to finish the mask or finish whatever crochet project I have. But generally, the whole thing takes about 3 hours. But I will be making some masks that will have space for beards. That's been a concern of some folks, which it should be a concern. You want to cover your whole face. You want everything to go inside. You want your beard, everything, your nose, your mouth, all that to go inside, because you don't want to come back inside the house or wherever you are, wherever you're staying, and be covered in corona, essentially. So I'll be making masks with beard extensions, and that might be the next thing I do. But I did want to do, one of those circular masks for you guys. But maybe I'll make a circular mask with a beard extension, because if you're familiar with the food industry, um, there is such a thing as a beard guard. It is part of PPE, because especially if you're working with food, nobody wants anybody's hair to fall into their food. So it includes facial hair. So yeah, folks in the hospitals and stuff, they do have access to beard guards along with their masks. And restaurants. I said hospitals, but and restaurants. So we've gotten some requests for masks that can contain a beard. So I'll be doing that, making those this week. So we'll see how that works. I think it'll be good. Okay, so let's see. Hmm. I think it needs maybe one more. Needs one more. So let's do a quick check on Facebook. So, because a lot of times people see a bunch of stuff to me on Facebook, and for whatever reason, it doesn't come up here on Restream. So I don't get to see everyone's comments until after. And it's always when I think that there's nobody up there that all of a sudden I'll just start seeing mad people talking. It's the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing. So let me just do a quick double check. Yep. Hey, Facebook. Just saying hi. I knew someone possibly had said hello. So hello. Um, okay. So let's get back here. Okay. So again, just doing a quick measure. It's actually not bad. Wait. No, I'm doing another row. I think I'm doing another row. Ah, there's my brother. My brother came in to say hi. Hi. You remind me I'm a cat mommy this morning. Okay. So here we are. Our next and possibly final row before we start our pocket. I really like this yarn. I wasn't sure how it was going to come out. It definitely has a lot more like darker streaks in it than I thought it would have. I thought it'd be a little bit lighter, but I really like it. I really actually like it more than I thought I would. More than I thought I would. I just when I buy yarn, I try to just get a variety because I never know what somebody might like. I know what I like. So, but specifically when I'm like adding items to my Etsy shop, I'm usually just crocheting whatever yarn I have. If it's something that I've had for a while, it's like, oh boy, like I've been wanting to crochet with this, haven't got a chance. Let me just make something out of it. And once I'm done, I put it on the Etsy shop. And then of course, folks will reach out to me for a commission, and then I'll make something that they want specifically. I might, give some feedback or suggestions. But it'll still be something that they had a hand in creating, which is always cool. It makes it more personable. Personal. I said personable. Personal. Um, but otherwise, I'm making things that are I think are like kind of cool and creative, and just toss that up on the Etsy. And that's how you find out, like, oh, let's see if someone else thinks what I made is like cool or dope, So yeah, this yarn definitely surprised me. I like this bamboo pop yarn, period, and I definitely got plenty of it, but specifically for masks. But this also, I think, would be cool for some hats. I had mentioned that I was thinking about making like masks and matching hats. Like, just like, you see how big my afro is, right? Like, but sometimes I like to put it away. Yeah, I like to put it away. You guys have seen me like wear hair socks and stuff. Sometimes I like to put it away, and I'll put it in like one of these like just really like breathable hats. Um, a hat that is made of material that won't pull my hair out. That's very important, especially to a Black woman. That's very important. Um, Also, the hair socks that I wear there, I also know how to make those. I made a few last year and sold them on my Etsy shop, so I'll be making those. But this material would be good for that too. So it's definitely something I'd like to explore in the future, and like just getting more of these bamboo based yarns in general. And just a reminder for those who are, I know I'm full of reminders, aren't I? Because I repeat myself a lot, mainly because I want to make sure people don't, you know, forget the information or it's kind of ingrained. But when you're making the mask initially, you do want to sort of, you want to, not sort of, but you want to measure your face. And you want to measure from what I do is from ear to ear, because I want to make sure that the mask covers all of this as much as possible. And I might add an inch or two, because again, I'm selling these, or or like some of them are being donated, some are being going to various different folks, and everybody doesn't have the same measurement. They don't have the same measurement. um so I just want to make sure that it fits whatever face it's going to. But also, it's also important to use some like material that has a bit of stretch to it, like this. Like, I definitely would suggest this to folks. The bamboo pop, specifically the sock yarn. It's, as you can like, it's stretchy. So even if I decided like not to put that extra inch on, it still would cover the person's face pretty well. And the other bamboo pop yarn I had gotten, it wasn't specifically a sock yarn, but it was roughly the same thickness as this. Um, you guys saw me, I crochet at least one of them, and that's the one that was like white with like speckles on it. I made that one a couple of weeks ago, and that's pretty stretchy too. But this has a little bit more stretch because it has the PBT in it. That other yarn, bamboo pop yarn, is 50% bamboo, 50% cotton, and no PBT at all. So, but there still is a little bit of bounce to it. This one has a lot of it. This one has a lot of it. Um, but I've been wearing a bamboo pop mask. I mean, that's the one that I made for myself. It's pink and green. If you're on Instagram, you've seen photos of it. Uh, and as I've mentioned, that's been like really great. And it has this, it is stretchy, just not as stretchy as this. Okay, wait. Before I do that, let me check. Let's do a check. Okay, I think we're ready. I'm kind of tempted to put in another row, but I think we might be kind of ready. I don't know. I'm still tempted to put in another row. I kind of still want to put in another row. That could be my paranoia. I don't care. It's, I'd rather put in more than not put in enough. It's very important that people are protected. I'm very specific about that. It's probably because I worked in healthcare for as long as I did, but I'm really specific about it. And this is my product. I stand behind it, and I want people to feel safe, so I don't play. I don't play with people and their safety. Because you can never be too safe in that sense. You can never be too safe. Okay. So I'll be wrapping up in a few minutes. And I just want to remind you guys that I will be doing another demo on Wednesday. I made mention of that before. Um, and that's when I'll finally probably be popping out the hemp yarn, the hemp blend I just purchased a few weeks ago. Again, thanks to all the folks that donated to the fundraiser. I'm so appreciative of you. Um, and I'll play with doing a circular mask, but definitely we'll be working on a mask like with a beard extension. I'm calling it a beard extension. I mean, it's just making more material, but just making sure that the beard can fit can fit in it. Um, this particular person that ordered, he doesn't have the biggest beard. He doesn't have the biggest beard, but it does extend off of his face. So everything has to be nicely tucked in, as it were. So for him, I think I have a special design in mind. But I've seen some folks make some masks that were they just made them larger. Like they just extended the width of the mask. I mean, that's all they did. I think I might add a little bit more to that just to make sure nothing is falling out and everything is like nice and secure and cinched in. So I might be doing some fun stuff with ear handles. I might be doing some fun stuff with that so that the ear handles have several purposes. And if you watched me last week, you heard me talk about that, how the ear handles are, yes, there to keep the mask on your face and to hold the mask to your face, but you can also use it to adjust, to keep everything out, as in like, oh, like the air and, folks who are in and around and not wearing masks, and you make sure they keep their germs to themselves. So I want to make sure that my ear handles, can help you adjust the whole mask in its entirety. So I'm going to work on that for this mask that encapsulates one's beard. Okay. So that will be Wednesday, and we may be doing a podcast with the brew, may be doing another live podcast this Tuesday. If we are, I'll definitely let you know. You'll also be able to catch it anytime on my YouTube channel, which is Lock It Down Productions. So you can watch it anytime there, but I'll definitely will be letting you guys know probably by the end of the day. I'll post something. And I'll also be on Black Comics Chat tomorrow. How did I forget that? I'll be on Black Comics Chat tomorrow, streaming live on their Twitch channel and on Twitter, and we'll be talking about Money in the Bank, WWE's Money in the Bank specifically. If you guys know me, if anyone knows a little bit about me, I love wrestling. I'm a big wrestling fan. So we'll be talking about the outcomes and all of that great stuff. That will be happening tonight. Tonight is Money in the Bank. So it'll be fun to recap recap with the guys tomorrow on Black Comics Chat. Thank you. Thank you. It's fun. Someone just said congratulations on Twitter. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun show. It's a fun group of folks to talk to about nerdy stuff and pop culture. Like I adore them. They're the best. So that'll be tomorrow. And if anything, yes, Wednesday we'll be doing a live podcast on the brew, just talking about some of the things that have happened over the weekend and what's going on in the world. And Wednesday is crochet time. So I gotta come up with a real name for this demo because I've just been calling it crochet demo. So I probably should come up with a real name for it, but whatever. You guys know, you know where I am. You know what I'm doing. So this is the last. Yeah, this is the last one. I'm not going to get overzealous. Yay, I like it. I do. I like the length on it. I feel better about it. So that'll be for this week. And then at 5:00 on Instagram, yes, check out my co-host of the brew, the Ilka Pinero. She's doing her Sunday meditation at 5 p.m. and that's the Ilka Pinero on Instagram. That's her handle, and I'll be tuning into that. So here's the body of the mask. I'll be attaching the pocket and essentially making sort of like a secondary mask by making the lining. And so I'm going to start work on that now. And we're about to actually end because I know I love how Instagram will stop me. I'll be on a roll and it'll be like, yeah, nah. Like, yeah, no, we're closing. We're shutting down. So I'm gonna shut this down before Instagram shuts me down. So take care, you guys. Be well. If you're celebrating Mother's Day, enjoy. If you're just enjoying your day, enjoy that too. So take care, y'all. Bye.